folks, we're here in Cleveland, Georgia at the Rockin' H Ranch with Mr. John Hulsey. John and his wife Lucinda have been just gracious hosts. I've been out here for a few weeks and doing some stuff in Atlanta and riding out here with him and Walt Irwin and just enjoying myself. Thank you very much, John, for the hospitality. It's been great.
Thank you, Kenny. We've enjoyed having you here and getting to know you.
Well, it's been a real honor to meet you and the program and Walt and his family. And tell me a little bit about this place. How long has this place been in the family?
About 20 years we've had this farm, ranch. We call the horse business a ranch. We've been building on it constantly. I'm a builder at heart and never stop building, as you've seen.
Yep.
And we kind of gravitated from the earlier days in doing barrel racing for my daughter and team penning with me and my sons and my son-in-law, and kind of wanted something a little more exciting, something we could make a little more money on the horses that we were raising and training, and the cutting is the most exciting thing that we've done.
I'll tell you what, it's a thrill, isn't it?
Oh man, there's nothing like it. You know, I fly planes and helicopters, and I get as much thrill out of being on a cutting horse as I do in either one of those.
Well, I can testify to that. There's lots of people I've talked to from anything from sport fishermen to drag race car drivers, and everybody loves to sit on a cutting horse.
There's just nothing like it.
Now, you've got a young man here named Walt Irwin. He's got his family that lives here with him, right. Sarah and his kids, Lily and Will, and they take care of your horse program. Tell me a little bit about Walt and how you've progressed with Walt being here.
Walt's been here about 3 years now, and when I started, especially being from Georgia, it was hard to attract a more higher profile trainers to come here in a young program. Just didn't have the facilities or the horses, and so I kind of started building, getting the right kind of horses and getting the right kind of facilities for a full everyday training facility. And we did that for 5 or 6 years, and finally got to know Walt in my earlier years, and he was an up and coming trainer and doing a really good job and works as hard as anybody I've seen. And we have a lot of employees in our other businesses, and Walt works at his business, treats the horse business like a horse business, which is right. Very important. Works really hard at it on a daily basis, and we were lucky to get him here. And I think we got him here because it's pretty much we're halfway between where his wife's parents, Sarah, live, mm-hmm. and where Walt's parents live. So we've been very lucky. He's made a huge improvement in the quality of our horses and the quality of the way they work and the way we ride.
Well, and you've seen a lot of success here lately with Walt. As we're speaking right now, Walt just came home from Congress, that Mercury cutting, where he was third, I believe.
That's right, he was. He also made the finals on one of our 4-year-olds, mm-hmm. Lucy, and just been the last couple of years had really good success. We had 4 4-year-olds this year. All 4 of those made the finals at Augusta, and we've had off and on success on those this year.
Well, now I know Walt's got a program going here where you've got a lot of other non-pros and amateurs coming through the barn, and you love working with those, riding with those people.
I do, especially the youth. I've always been very involved in, obviously I had 4 kids, have 5 grandkids now, but we have some youth riders here, and I've always, even at my church, I've always been more partial to helping youth and youth riders, help them get horses, help them go to the shows, and so that's very special to me. We also do a lot with the youth in the Area 18. We've donated saddles for 5 or 6 years at Augusta at the Area 18 work-offs.
Well, I've getting to be here and riding with John and these youths, Nicole and Christopher. We want to say thank you. That was just an amazing few weeks we've had here, getting to ride and meet all these people. And I've kind of launched out of here from your place. I went down and cut up a little bit with the folks in Florida, and then up in Harriman, Tennessee. And Walt's just got a great program going here, and I know that. Now, tell me this: how has your riding changed now that Walt's in your program?
My riding has changed. It's almost like starting over after Walt got here. I've learned how to use my feet a lot more, sit a little better, seat in the saddle, and he's got our horses really stopping really hard, and it was almost like starting over, to be honest.
Well, that's, when you get to be our age, you kind of learn how to do things a certain way, and the different disciplines, with the barrel racing, the pinning and sorting and everything that you did in the past, and same thing I did. You have to learn completely all over again. I thought I was a horseman growing up until I started messing with these cutting horses.
Me too, and Walt thought I was a little better rider than I was after the team pinning years, and I even did a little pole bending and barrel racing and a lot of trail riding, which I still love. We take our horses to Colorado and go elk hunting every year, so done a wide variety of things on horses through the years.
Now tell me, that's your horse program. Tell me a little bit about this Corriente herd. I heard this is probably one of the fourth largest Corriente herds this side of the Mississippi.
Well, probably 3 years ago, and I've been through every kind of cattle operation that you can have to have enough cattle to support the horse business. And we went through, we did the Larlene beef cattle deal for 2 or 3 years, and that worked okay, but the cost of feed kept rising and rising and rising. So I searched out and did a lot of research on a good cow that would help improve our horses. And these Corrientes are fast little cows, hard stopping. They stop and turn around like a horse, and the main thing is they don't eat much. And so to come off of a feeding program, we started building the Corriente herd about 2 years ago, and have kept buying heifers. We would use them here, and then I would actually get them bred and lease them to some stock contractors that use them in the roping and steer wrestling competitions around the nation. And then he would bring back the heifers when they were ready to calf and get another load. And so we built up about 150 mama cows right now that are all calving right now. Right. And my plan is to run that on up to about 300 mama cows over the next few years. And it's a pretty good market selling these things to the steers and or the heifers to the roping industry.
Well, there's sure a lot of them. I've looked at a lot of them that, and videoed some of them. Good looking, healthy herd of cattle. Corrientes, the one thing that I know of is they can withstand the heat quite a bit better than your English breeds.
They do the heat well. We have very, very few health issues. They calve out real easily, usually throw a 35-pound calf and very small calf, and they're hardy. They can live on weeds and leaves. They'd rather eat hay than any kind of feed that we would feed beef cows. And there's a really good market for them. There's a shortage when you really start looking for them, especially in the spring when all the roping guys are buying their calves up. And so we feel it's the best cow I've ever found.
Well, I'd have to agree with you. One other thing I want to ask you about is the facility. Right. You and Miss Lucinda have built this place to where it's very visitor friendly. I've stayed in the cabin up front, right. And you've got the big banquet facility that's set up for family reunions, right. Business conferences. Tell me a little bit about the big lodge.
Our lodge, we call it our bunkhouse, and it'll sleep around 40 people in there, and we have a lot of family reunions, like like you expressed, Kenny. We, like I say, I'm a builder at heart. It was a restored chicken house, hen house, and we have several others still have hens in them. We're still producing eggs up here, and our bunkhouse was a hen house that we converted 4 or 5 years ago into a facility where we could have guests coming through, like Kenny, that needed a place to stay. And horse people are always traveling around and needing a place to put their horses and and a place to stay. So we provide that here also, and it's just so much fun. We have all our birthday parties up here, all the kids' parties, and when a group of cutters come up, and Walt has a lot of non-pros and amateurs coming here to ride their horses, and just a great place for us to have barbecues and cookouts.
I'll tell you one thing that I see, and this would be a great place to hold clinics.
We've had several clinics here. Matter of fact, we've had several of the veterinarian supply through southern states have come here and held some clinics on some of the new drugs that are out there, and it works out wonderfully. We can see a couple of hundred people in there.
Folks, we're out here in Cleveland, Georgia with Mr. Walt Irwin. Walt, thank you very much for being on the show, and thanks a lot for letting us come out here and kind of hang out with you.
Thank you all for coming by.
We've been out here riding with Walt in the evenings and kind of taking off and going to some shows and getting to visit with a lot of his clients here at John and Cindy Halsey's Rockin' H Ranch. Tell me a little bit about this place.
I think there's about 400 acres here. We keep about 200 head of cattle all the time. I was blessed. John called and wanted me to come work for him, and come down, visited, liked the place, like John and Cindy, like their whole family. And we moved down, brought my family, and we've been training here for almost 3 years now.
Well, I know you've seen a lot of success. At the time that we're filming this, you just got back from the big Mercury cutting at Congress. How'd that work out?
It worked out good. Two of my good friends beat me, but we finished third. Zeke Ince won it. Randy Chartier was second, and I was third. We were very happy.
Well, I know that we're kind of tickled with the outcome. Everybody on this show knows Zeke, and Randy's a good friend of ours too. And you've had lots of success. I know I was talking to John, and you've made the finals on a lot of his horses here recently, hadn't you?
Yes, sir. I think I've shown his horses twice this year that we didn't make the finals.
Well, and on top of that, you've got a lot of non-pros, amateurs, youth cutters. Nicole Sutton, we just got through watching her a little bit. And tell me a little bit about Nicole.
When I moved here, Nicole, she lives about 2 miles from us, and she come over and visited. She had a horse, wasn't a very good horse. We sold her a new horse, and she won the scholarship cutting at Augusta. Been second over there. She was second this past year. Made the finals at Fort Worth twice in the Summer Spectacular Youth Scholarship Cutting. Dominated the youth quite a bit locally.
Yeah, I mean, she's been doing a